All right. So just I don't know. I just have to like do this for some reason. I don't know why it's bothering me. But there has been an issue with Baal regarding her ult, compared to Beidou. I mean, like with Beidou and Xinqiu. So as we can see here, let's go fight our fucking dummy child here. All right, let's fight our dummy child here. Yeah, fucking let me fight you. All right. So as we can see here, right? When we do our normal attack, we're doing a normal attack. I don't know where we're going with that. Anyway, when we do our ult with Beidou, and we can see that we are electrifying this guy with Beidou's ult. But when we use our ult, no extra electro attacks from Beidou's ult. I'm not entirely sure if that ran out, but no extra attack from Beidou's ult. Let me just get Beidou's energy here. No extra attack from Beidou's ult actually procced when Baal ultis, right? But the same cannot be said for some reason. I don't know why I ultied with Xinqiu there. But, alright. Okay. We still have Xinqiu's ult for 7 seconds. I'll do ulti with Baal. And as you can see here, there are still swords, or there were still swords from Xinqiu, and it does work, right? So, that means that Baal's ulti, alright, let's put it here, alright. So the issue here is Baal's ult, alright, works with Xinqiu, I think that's how you spell his name, but does not work with Beidou, alright? And I'm here to explain why. Alright? If we can see the description here. Beidou, Xinqiu's ult. Your active character's normal attacks will trigger consecutive sword rain attacks, dealing hydro damage. So, every time you normal attack, there will be sword rains. We all know this. We've used Xinqiu. But Beidou's description is when normal and charged attacks hit, they create a lightning discharge. The difference here is Xinqiu does not have to hit the active character does not have to hit an enemy or anything at all to trigger the rain swords. It will just do it by itself every time you press left click, right? But Beidou's needs to hit. Now, why is Baal such a special case? Because her ult changes her normal attack to elemental burst. And here is where it kind of gets confusing, right? Let's delete all of this. And this is kind of going into a programming kind of state, but not really. So I'm going to try to explain this where everybody could try to understand. At least I'm gonna try. All right. So Baal's ult. Okay. Let's fucking do this, right? Booba's sword. That's not what it looks like, but you know what I mean. Booba's sword. Baal's ult is when you left click. It's normal attacks, normal and charged attacks, right? Because that's what it's changed. Here, normal charge and plunging attack, all right? Plunging. We don't really need plunging, but let's just put this here. Plunging, all right? So all of her things are converted into electro, yes? But the reason why it works with Xinqiu is because Xinqiu only needs you to do normal attacks. It only needs you to do normal attacks. It doesn't need you to hit. So anytime you left click on the active character, it triggers Xinqiu's rain sword. Xin. Q. So whatever. Anyway, it triggers Shincho's Rain Swords because it doesn't need to hit. Now, the reason why Beidou's ult does not work with the normal and charge attacks is because it is still considered normal and charge attacks according to descriptions and everything, and like, yeah, and everything, right? And like, because there's a thing in like when you're developing a game, right? You're supposed to pass values on from one object to another to create something. Let's say for the simplest terms, Baal is an object, and the enemy is another object. All right, the enemy is another object. When it's from Baal, when you left click, it is normal and charge attacks. That's why Shincho's ult works. It is still normal and charge attacks. But for it to trigger Beidou's ult, it needs to hit. You see where I'm going with this? It needs to hit. So it hits the enemy. The normal and charge attack hits the enemy. The reason why it doesn't trigger Beidou's ult is because as soon as it hits, or while it's hitting, the damage gets converted from normal. Well, not really the damage, but like it, instead of being a normal attack hit, because of how Beidou's ult works, it becomes elemental burst damage. Because where I'm going with this is, I think how they programmed Genshin is the character is not the one doing the elemental burst. So it's not character, right? It's not the character that sends an elemental burst to the enemy. It's more or less the enemy receiving the attack. That is very confusing. Okay, I have to move my camera. Sorry. Wait. What? Okay, there we go. Yeah. So if you can see here, it's not the character that sends the elemental burst, but it's the enemy receiving it. So when an enemy receives a hit, it determines, oh, is it a normal attack hit? Is it a charge attack hit? Is it an elemental burst attack hit? Or is it like an elemental skill? You know, whatever. So whenever you have Noblesse or the new Emblem Severed Fate set, it converts those damages and then sends it to the enemy. That's why you can see big PP numbers on your Noblesse plus 20% elemental burst damage, right? Right? So that's how I think. I don't know for sure how they actually did, but it makes sense for me to think like this because that's how it works with Beidou's elemental burst, right? With Beidou's elemental burst, the enemy determines that, yes, I am an elemental burst. The enemy gets hit by Beidou's elemental burst and not Beidou's normal and charge attack, elemental burst. Right? It gets hit by it. So, any modifier, for example, Beidou's ult or Shincho's water swords, like it gets determined that, oh, for Shincho, right? Water swords, it was already a normal hit even before it lands, right? It was already a normal hit. So it launches water swords regardless. But when Beidou receives the command that, hey, I hit an opponent, I should really send out electricity because that is what my ult does. But whenever Beidou's ult sees that, oh, I'm not really normal attacking, or this isn't really normal attack damage. This is more like elemental burst. So I will not use my ult. So I don't know. This was kind of convoluted. This was very weird. I don't know why I'm making this video. I hope it makes sense to at least some of you to let you understand the situation that Baal is in right now, because it sucks having a character that has all these cool fucking mechanics and you can't use certain characters just because of the way that the character or like the game is programmed. Because how I think they're going to fix this is they're probably going to change like a whole lot of code that they already did for like the game. So I don't know. It just kind of sucks that they have to like rewrite the code to fix this. Uh, so yeah, I think they have to like I don't know, maybe make a new class about Baal that it accepts Beidou's ult as a hit, as a normal attack hit. Because long story short, when Beidou left clicks, it's a normal attack, but when the enemy receives it, it's an elemental burst damage. So Beidou's ult is like, well, you're not really a normal hit, but you are a normal attack. So I will not proc. That's basically the long story short. So I don't know why I'm making this video. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.